Imagine growing up with two fathers, one rich, one poor. No, this isn't a tale of two cities, but the story of one man's financial education. Picture a young boy in Hawaii in the mid-20th century. His name is Robert Kiyosaki, and he is blessed, or perhaps cursed, with two fathers. The first is his biological father. He's a hard-working man, highly educated and intelligent. He holds a secure government job and believes in the traditional route to success. Get a good education, find a stable job, save money, buy a house, and hope that one day you'll have enough to retire comfortably. This is our poor dad. The second father is a different breed. He's the father of Robert's best friend, a man who never finished 8th grade. Yet despite his lack of formal education, he's a businessman who owns warehouses, restaurants, and construction companies. He believes in financial independence and building wealth through investments, particularly in real estate. He is our rich dad. These two men couldn't be more different in their financial philosophies. The poor dad, a believer in job security and saving, advises Robert to study hard so he can find a good company to work for. The rich dad, on the other hand, encourages Robert to study hard so he can find good companies to buy. As a young boy, Robert finds himself at the crossroads of these two contrasting views on money and success. From his poor dad, he learns the conventional wisdom of the middle class, the importance of a good education and a stable job. From his rich dad, he learns the mindset of the wealthy, the value of financial literacy, and the power of investments. This dichotomy, this tension between two starkly different viewpoints, shapes Robert's childhood and forms the basis of his understanding of money, wealth, and success. Two fathers, two philosophies, one man caught in between. The stage is set for a financial odyssey. What if you were taught that the conventional path to wealth was a myth? This question, my friends, is where we dive deep into the lessons bestowed by the rich dad. Rich Dad, a character pivotal to Kiyosaki's narrative, was not just a man with a hefty bank balance. He was a mentor, a guide, a beacon of wisdom who taught lessons that were far from conventional. Lessons that, when heeded, could lead one down the path to financial independence. The first was the importance of financial literacy. In a world where money makes the world go round, understanding its language is crucial. Rich Dad believed that the lack of financial intelligence was the root of most monetary problems. He emphasized the need to comprehend financial statements, to understand the difference between assets and liabilities, and to make decisions based on financial facts rather than emotions. Next, he stressed the importance of investing in assets, in things that put money in your pocket. Real estate, businesses, stocks, bonds. These were the vehicles that Rich Dad used to accumulate wealth. He viewed the home you live in not as an asset, as many do, but as a liability. Why? Because it takes money out of your pocket every month. Perhaps the most unconventional lesson from Rich Dad was the idea of working to learn, not to earn. The conventional wisdom tells us to find a job, to climb the corporate ladder, to seek security through a steady paycheck. But Rich Dad, he believed in the power of learning, in acquiring skills, in understanding how money works, and in using that knowledge to create wealth. These lessons, my friends, may seem unorthodox, perhaps even a little outlandish. They fly in the face of what we've been conditioned to believe about money, yet they hold the potential to liberate us from financial constraints, to enable us to take control of our financial destiny. Rich Dad's lessons were unconventional, yet they held the key to financial independence. And with that, we've uncovered the wisdom of Rich Dad. In our next scene, we'll delve into the contrasting path of the poor dad. Meanwhile, the poor dad advocated a different path, a well-trodden path of formal education and secure employment. He was a man of traditional values, a believer in the time-tested formula of good grades, college degrees, and a stable job with benefits. To him, financial security was a direct result of how much you earned from your job, not how much you knew about money. In stark contrast to the rich dad's emphasis on financial literacy and investments, the poor dad's philosophy was rooted in the notion that education was the key to success. To him, the more you learn, the more you earn. It was a simple and straightforward equation. Secure a good job, work hard, climb the corporate ladder, and retire with a handsome pension. But there's a significant pitfall to this path. It's founded on the premise that your income is directly tied to your time. Your earning potential is capped by the hours you can work in a day. And let's not forget the fact that job security is a myth in a world where technology and globalization are rapidly reshaping the workforce. The Poor Dad's approach also neglects an important aspect of personal finance: financial literacy. It's not enough to earn money. One must also know how to manage, invest, and grow it. To put it simply, being a high earner doesn't necessarily make you wealthy. The Poor Dad's path, while well-intentioned, often leads to a cycle of earning, spending, and debt. It's a path that many of us are familiar with, a path that we've been conditioned to follow. It's a path that promises security, but often delivers financial stress and uncertainty. The difference between the two dads is not about who was right or wrong. It's about understanding that there are different paths to financial success, and that the one you choose will greatly impact your life. Two paths diverged in a wood, and our author, he took the one less traveled by. The path of financial literacy and entrepreneurship, the path of the rich dad, the path that led him to financial freedom and wealth. The question is, which path will you choose? But how does one transition from financial ignorance to financial independence? This question takes us on a journey with Robert Kiyosaki, the author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, as he navigates his path to wealth. Kiyosaki's journey was not an overnight success. It was a trek filled with trials, tribulations, and lessons, many of which he learned from his rich dad. He shares these lessons with us, not as a magic formula, but as a roadmap, guiding us through the treacherous terrain of financial literacy. One of the first hurdles on this journey is overcoming fear. Fear of taking risks, fear of failure, fear of the unknown. But as Kiyosaki learned from his rich dad, fear can be a powerful motivator when harnessed correctly. It can push us out of our comfort zones and into the realm of financial growth. Next comes the battle against ignorance. Ignorance is not just a lack of knowledge, but also a refusal to learn. Kiyosaki's rich dad taught him that the most valuable asset we have is our mind. By continuously learning and staying informed, we can turn ignorance into wisdom and wisdom into wealth. Then we confront laziness. Laziness can be a silent saboteur on our journey to wealth. It can keep us stuck in old habits and prevent us from taking action. But Kiyosaki learned that laziness can be overcome by a strong desire. Desire to be financially free, desire to create a better life for our loved ones, desire to make a difference. And finally, Kiyosaki teaches us how to use these obstacles to our advantage. To use fear as a catalyst for action, ignorance as an invitation to learn, and laziness as a signal to ignite our desires. The journey to wealth is not a sprint, but a marathon. It requires patience, resilience, and above all, a willingness to learn. So buckle up, prepare for the journey, and remember, every step you take brings you closer to your destination. Rich Dad, Poor Dad isn't just a book, it's a financial revolution. It's an awakening, a shift in perspective, a new lens through which to view our personal finances. This manifesto by Robert Kiyosaki is a beacon, shining a light on the path towards financial literacy and independence. Let's delve into the heart of this revolution. It's not about getting rich quick or discovering some secret formula. No, it's about understanding money, comprehending its ebb and flow, its rise and fall. It's about seeing money not as an end, but a means to an end. Financial literacy is the cornerstone of this revolution. It's the ability to understand and effectively use various financial skills, including personal financial management, budgeting, and investing. It's about knowing the difference between an asset and a liability, understanding how to make your money work for you, not the other way around. But why is financial literacy so important? Well, it's simple. Just as reading and writing are fundamental skills for functioning in society, so too is financial literacy. Without it, people are left to navigate the murky waters of financial decisions on their own, often leading to costly mistakes and missed opportunities. The lessons from Rich Dad, Poor Dad are not just theoretical concepts, they're practical tools. Tools that can be applied in our everyday lives, helping us to make informed decisions about our finances. They encourage us to step out of our comfort zones, to question the conventional wisdom about money, and to explore alternative paths to wealth. It's about understanding that working for money is the slowest road to wealth, while having your money work for you is the fastest. It's about realizing that true wealth comes not from hoarding money, but from investing in assets that generate income. So, dear viewer, Are you ready to take the path less traveled, to challenge the norms and forge your own path to financial independence? The journey starts with a single step, a single page. Pick up a copy of Rich Dad, Poor Dad and let your journey begin. Remember, the best investment you can make is in yourself.